amazings, my wonderfuls, my lovelies. Thank you for taking the time to spend with me on I Am Maggie and I Am Maggie. So I appreciate getting to spend the time with you. What we have been doing is we've been doing a slow crawl through the book, The Magic of Everyday Life by Maria Szepes. And we just kind of looking, I'm reading and kind of, giving some of my input as well. Sometimes we're doing some energy clearing, but we're going through this just seeing what pearls, tools, things that might help us in our journey or to help those around us, however it's working for you. When you do get a chance, please hit subscribe and like and leave your positive comments. We are working towards our first 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate your support and just hang in there with me. Thank you very much. All right, so we are in chapter 16. The magic of friendship. So we're going to pick up where we left off. But the last time we were being blessed, we were being evacuated from the land of loneliness into the land of plenty in our relationships, our friendships. So here we go. This kind of fusion and division does not harbor the rhythm of gripping embraces and repugnant disunion, but the peace of resting in each other without obsession and passion. A friend is someone to whom we reveal ourselves, though whose sympathetic interest helps us put into words our most unutterable matters. So things you would not usually tell anybody, right? The Bible says confess your sins to your friend, to your confidant. Right? You don't be going and telling somebody you can't trust, and we have to figure that out sometimes, right? But a friend is someone whom we reveal ourselves, whose sympathetic interest helps us to put into words our most unutterable manners, and through whom we are liberated from words that are as heavy as stones. A friend is somebody through whom we can be freed of our self-destructive thoughts. So a friend is somebody who helps lighten your burden. They can also be strong with you. David had a counselor who, when he cheated with Bathsheba, he went, I think it was Nathan, but he went straight at David and he told him, hey, what you're doing is sin, what you're doing is wrong, and now you murdered her husband. And, that's a friend sometimes. Friends don't just all tell you the nice things. They tell you the hard things. But when you know it's a friend, that's the learning mindset. You're trying to help me be a better person. So they help you unload your burdens, but they also listen with a discerning ear to help you to be able to sometimes articulate things you couldn't articulate to anyone else. And you don't want to. You have to know who to trust, but if you hold things on in all the time, it can poison you, right? Because if your thoughts, that monkey mind can get going through these terrible thoughts, and then you can't get out. But that's a friend helps you find the way out. So I encourage y'all to be great friends, because I know you are. If you're here listening to this, your upgrade is assured. So you just keep going. Without this high element of friendship, the most life and death affairs could not remain enduring, because mutual curiosity represents a far higher ideal in the magical binding material of every kind of human relationship than physical objectives. So here's that higher order values type of relationship, right? However, valuable friendship, as much as affairs of the heart, marriage, relationships with family, business partners, colleagues, superiors, and inferiors, have their preconditions and inner laws, which it is not advisable to disregard, right? Because these are guiding us. I'm not trying to say you're hit by the law, but they are laws that actually are guidance systems to help us know who to trust and who not to trust, and how to build healthy relationships, friendships. Okay, our point of origin should be that if someone thirsts for friendship, they must first become a good friend. So want a friend, be a friend, and be a good friend. In the direction of their efforts and desire, they themselves have to radiate those calling signals that evoke a partner of similar frequency. Once the relationship is established, its conversation requires a great willingness to sacrifice, tact, and moderation. So we're going to be very respectful in our relationships and our friendships because we honor them, because we are honoring ourselves within. So because we honor within, we honor without. What we are doing inside is going to be outside. We do not want to be hurt or betrayed, so we're not going to be acting in subpar ways. For this reason, we shall attempt to summarize in a few axons the mistakes that we the mistakes that we must not make, that not word, in friendships, love affairs, nor marriage. So this is interesting because isn't ultimately at the end of the day, your marriage the greatest friendship you ever had? Anytime, if you have the right business people, it's the same thing. It can be the greatest friendship. So she is, again, Maria is knocking it out of the park. She's hitting friendships, love affairs, and marriage. And if we wish our friendships to be harmonious, which we do, to remain equally inspirational for as long as we both shall live. So here we go. Axon 1. Never give in to the temptation to spend the time together doing our own things, not even if our partner's gentle concern and unselfish interest in us motivates us to do so. If we constantly allow the other to be without the fulfillment of expression, forces well up even in the most patient individual and transform dull resentment into revolt in the end. Such one-sided relationships are the source of eventual tempestuous outbursts that break down the already solidified structure of a relationship. So she has talked many times about that balance of giving and receiving, giving and receiving. She's saying do not have this one-sided relationships where you're just being selfish and you know this other person is kind and they're gonna, maybe they're codependent, whatever it is, and they're just gonna keep saying pass, okay, whatever you want to do. No, a real friend doesn't do that. It's an exchange, giving and receiving, receiving and giving, right? It's a flow. When it's balanced, it really will flow, and the joy and the adventures and the money and everything else will be even more over the top. Okay, Axon 2. Do not consider the established relationship a business exchange in which, although we make sacrifices, give consideration and gentleness. We demand its counterpart at the highest tariff. So do not consider the established relationship a business exchange in which, although we make sacrifices, give consideration and gentleness. We demand its counterpoint as the highest tariff. So kind of like the highest payoff, right? So you're not going to just be sacrificing all the time. There's going to be gentleness. There's going to be consideration. There's going to be, again, that balance of giving and receiving. All right. And if later our partner is incapable of doing enough to satisfy our desires in the way and measures we want, then for all the world's sake, do not hurl bitter recriminations, offended icy silence, or wounded sarcasm at them, because when we do so, we squirt infection into the living organism of our friendship. So how many people, we're all guilty of it at some point, but how many people know, people say, when they get upset, they say things they don't mean, and those words keep traveling through the universe, and a lot of times through people's hearts. They become grudge-filled, or they use the silence treatment, or they're constantly wounding with sarcasm. We don't want to infect our relationships like this, okay? We want to take the higher road. I know it's not always easy, that's part of this journey of being a human being and walking this path. You have to figure out how to cleanse oneself so you're not bringing so much in to clear all the time. But, okay. Remember, every demand begets opposition. Every taking of possession, monopolization, expropriation, is a form of dictatorship which culminates in revolution. So if you are being a dictator over your expect expect revolt, right? Nobody wants to be treated like less than. Nobody wants to be treated like a slave. We want to have healthy relationships with give and take, where everybody's being considerate and gentle towards one another, but also sometimes strong and fierce when it's needed. The surest way to lose someone is to try to secure them with iron and fire. But without a leash, without threatening prohibition, in the case of a love affair, without a symbolic chastity belt, we will indissolubly chain our partner to us. Because in serving their interests and curiosity, thawing their mystical loneliness, sharing their ideals, we become indispensable to them. So we do not want to leash people. We do not want to be threatening friends or anyone. We do not want to be trying to chain them down. We want to higher value orders. We want to have genuine interest in them, genuine curiosity. We want to be thoughtful of their loneliness, and we want to have these higher ideals. In this case, even if we were to send them away, they could not leave because we have become necessary to their existence and the only important relation of their being, moreover, without which they would otherwise remain without gratification in the most crowded company, amidst the hottest success, the most intense sexual and vested interested relationships. Whew, man, she is just amazing. Okay, Axon 3. Do not ever encumber friendship with unilateral favors. So one way. Again, once that one-sided thing, right? You keep hearing it. If we accept the service, we should reciprocate with at least something of realistic value. And this is not forced. When you have real friendships, that is so easy. Your friend does something for you and you want to do something to help them. Or you do something for your friend and they want to do something for you. So this is really simple when you're in higher order values. Okay. Moreover, without which they would otherwise, the current that saturates the relationship weakens, gets worn out, and moreover may be depleted completely. And that's if you're doing the one-sided favors, right? Do this for me, do this for me. Then you just kind of drain that whole person. And when that person gets to like raisins, they go from prune to raisin status and maybe even like Lee Moy. And then they're like, ugh, I have to get away from you to preserve my own self. We don't want that. We want to have nice, balanced, receiving and giving relationships. And we got to be healthy ourselves to be able to do this. Full cup. So every kind of competition and mutual material interest is a dangerous test of fire. Oh, this is Axon 4. Every kind of competition and mutual material interest is a dangerous test of fire in friendship. If possible, make friendship independent of these motives, even at the cost of sacrifice. Where this is not possible, place one of the activated axons of cosmic morality as its guiding motive, which essentially sounds like this. Do not do to others what you do not want for yourself. Straight out of the Bible. Change to its golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do to you. Change to its dynamic form into action. The same may be articulated as, do to another what you wish for yourself. Do to another what you wish for yourself. Do to another what you wish for yourself. Beautiful. All right, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking this time. When you do get a chance, please hit subscribe and like. Leave your positive comments. We are working towards 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And you know what's next. Peace in, peace